crying little.
Hello and welcome to Monson Made This. My name is Michael. Welcome to all of the new subscribers and welcome back those of you that have been with me for the whole time. This is the first brand new recipe for my channel of 2020 and I'm really excited to share it with you. It is a green curry mushroom bolognese with rigatoni. It sounds kind of strange, but I promise it is amazing. Let's just get right into this. I've already gone ahead and diced up about 5 ounces of these small little cremini, I think they're cremini mushrooms. And this is all ready to go. I've already chopped up some onion. I'm just gonna meet you back here at the stove. We'll get them sauteing and I'll show you what else is in this amazing dish. Okay, so here are my mushrooms. Here are the rest of the ingredients. I will go through those with you in just a moment, but let me get my pasta water going. And I just have a big pot here of salted water. I usually salt it ahead of time just so I don't forget to salt it. It's on high, that's ready to go. Now, I'm gonna be sauteing these mushrooms and these onions in a couple different types of oil just for flavor and for spice. I've been buying this chili crisp, chili and onion crunch, I guess it's called, from Trader Joe's. Let me just get my pan going here. I'm also using a stainless steel pan today because I do want things to kind of stick a little bit to the bottom of the pan just to develop some flavor. But I'm gonna add a bit of this chili crisp, which is essentially just chili oil with lots of chili pieces in there. And I'm adding this to the pan as well as some sesame oil. And this is what I'm gonna be cooking my mushrooms and onions in. If you don't like spice, go ahead and just use another neutral flavored oil. But I like the spice, I like the flavor of these. Actually, on my channel, I do have a really quick chili oil that you make in the microwave. If you wanted to use that in place of the chili crisp, you could do that as well. So adding my mushrooms, and then adding my onions. And the most difficult part of this recipe is going to be waiting for these to cook down. We want these to get pretty dark, pretty deep brown, really caramelized, and we want them to release most of their liquid until it's almost to the consistency of a paste. And then we will go ahead and add our green curry and tomato paste. So while this is working its magic, I do want to just kind of leave this alone, let it brown up. I'm going to talk about the other ingredients that are in this. Now, the main flavor profile is coming from this green curry paste. And this is a Thai green curry paste. Just read the, not instructions, read the ingredients just to make sure that it doesn't contain any shrimp or fish bits. This one, I've been buying at an Asian market. You can freeze frame it. Doesn't have any of those. There's a couple other brands I've seen at grocery stores that don't as well. So this is a main flavor component. Also going to be adding tomato paste. This is just going to add a nice, deep, rich flavor as well, along with the green curry paste. To make it nice and creamy, we're going to be adding some coconut cream as well as some peanut butter. And then for our main seasoning in terms of our salt, we have some liquid aminos, or you could use a low sodium soy sauce. And then I'm going to be using a sweet soy sauce as well. If you don't have a sweet soy sauce or don't have access to it, you can just add a little bit of sweetener to the, well, double the amount of the Bragg's liquid amino and then add a little bit of sweetener to it, and you should be fine. So I'm just gonna keep my eye on this. Again, I want it to get really dark, deeply colored. And as soon as we're at that point, I'll show you what we're gonna be doing next. Our water has come up to a rolling boil and this is salted. To that, I'm adding just about a ½ pound of rigatoni. Now, rigatoni is really nice because it's large, it gets even bigger, and, excuse me, one of the great things is that it just adds a really big bulk to the dish. I guess it makes the dish look a lot bigger than it actually is. So this is a really rich dish. Again, we've got peanut butter in there and coconut cream, and it's really savory. So it's nice to have the rigatoni because it makes it look like you're eating a large portion when you can kind of eat a little bit less because, again, it's really rich. So this is going to go for, I think, 13 minutes. So I'm just going to set my timer. And you really want to make sure that your sauce portion is done before the pasta because you want to be able to put the pasta directly into the sauce. So you want to make sure that you've started the mushrooms and the onions before you drop the pasta. And if you can see here, we're already getting some nice golden color. This is exactly where we want to be. I'm just going to let this keep going, and pretty soon we'll be adding the green curry and the tomato paste. Now I need 2 tablespoons of each of these, and I'm measuring, but you know, it's okay if you have a little bit extra. And I'm adding this to the hot pan with the mushrooms and onions, and that's because I want to be able to kind of develop the flavor a little bit more of these canned ingredients. So by cooking them, it's going to just kind of darken their spices up a little bit. It'll really help make the tomato paste even more rich. And I know it looks scary, like everything is burnt to the bottom, but that is all a bunch of flavor. And once we deglaze it with a little bit of the pasta water, you'll see that it comes together in just like a really rich, beautiful sauce that will then add a coconut cream and peanut butter to make it even creamier and richer. So I'm just gonna dip a measuring cup in here and add it in, and this is just gonna help to pull up all of those bits, all the flavors that we've developed. And I'll just keep adding it. I don't want it to be too watery, but I just want to make sure that everything comes together, all those bits get off the bottom. And add a little bit more here. It's cool if this, you know, if you do add too much water, it's okay if you let it go and reduce a little bit more. And again, if this gets done too far before the pasta is done, it's fine. It can sit, hang out. You just want to add the pasta kind of fresh out of the water, toss it together. Some more of the extra pasta water at the end will just help, again, make things really rich and creamy as well. All right, so we're good. Everything is together and everything is off the bottom. I'm actually going to add the soy sauce and the sweet soy sauce as well. And anytime if anything feels like it's just too concentrated, too thick, I can add just a little bit of pasta water. All right, so this is peanut butter. I'm just using a Trader Joe's peanut butter unsweetened, and we need about 2 tablespoons or so. That looks good. And the last thing is the coconut cream. You could use coconut milk. I would say if you are using coconut milk, just use double the amount that I call for in the recipe, and you might just have to let it reduce down a little bit more. And we want about a half cup of this. Not the best utensil. Looks good to me. And then we mix. It smells so good. It's such like a crazy complex fragrance. It's the green curry, it's the tomato paste. Now we got the coconut, the peanut butter. It's just a trip. So let this go, let it maybe reduce down a little bit. We want this to be kind of thick. Again, we'll reconstitute it a little bit with the pasta water. But this is cool. Looks like we have just about 4 or so minutes left on the pasta, which is perfect time for these flavors to meld together. So things are getting really nice and reduced. So I just want to taste it at this point to just see how my seasoning level is. The pasta is salted with the water. That water's been going in here, so it should have enough sodium as well as the soy sauce. It's so good. It just pulls in so many directions. It's got the heat, it's got the sweetness, it's got the saltiness, the spiciness from the curry, the richness from the tomato paste. The peanut butter just kind of shows up in there as well. So lovely. There is one more thing that I haven't really talked about, and that is frozen peas. And I'm just going to, this looks pretty good. I'm just going to turn this off, add these frozen peas. The recipe that you'll read online on monsonmadethis.com will call for chopped green beans. That's what I tested the recipe with. It's amazing with just like little pieces of green beans. I didn't have green beans today, so we're using frozen peas. Those will work as well. So this is cool, just as long, or not just as long, I'm sorry. This is good to go, just waiting for the pasta to finish. The pasta is done, turning it off, and I want to reserve just probably about a cup or so of the pasta water. And then I'm gonna take this over to the sink, perfect timing. Take this over to the sink, dump it, and then we'll add it to the pot of sauce. And start to stir this together. If it seems like it's too thick, the pasta is absorbing too much of the sauce, which I can see already, I'm gonna add just a bit of water to loosen things up. If you have some excellent flipping skills, this would be the perfect time for you to flip this pan, coat all of the pasta. This is a 12-inch skillet, by the way, so you can see this is a pretty good amount. And you can cook the pasta pretty close to you know, the done side of al dente. It's not really gonna cook anymore inside the sauce, so it's not like you need to keep it underdone for any reason. You want it kind of perfectly cooked. All right, I don't think I need to add any more water. Just look how beautiful, rich, coated all this rigatoni is. I'm ready to plate this up, and we're gonna add 2 more little finishing touches on top just to add a little bit of crunch and a little bit of freshness. As a final bit of flavor and garnish and crunch, I have some fresh cilantro here, which I'm just roughly chopping, and then some roasted and salted peanuts. And these are just gonna get sprinkled on top right before serving. Now this dish is definitely best right out of the pan. It's not necessarily something that you wanna really make ahead, even though it'll save okay. If you are gonna only make maybe like half of a batch, or you wanna make the sauce ahead of time, I would probably reserve half of the sauce, save that separately, and just toss it with fresh pasta whenever you are ready to eat it. So let's plate. Which, by the way, I'm obsessed with these bowls. I found them at Home Goods, I think. It's like a cross between a bowl and a plate, and it's just the perfect dish for pasta like this. It's just such a hearty, rich, savory dish. I'm obsessed with this. And I mean, I love Thai food anyways, and this kind of just, it almost even gives kind of like an Indian curry vibe in a way, but still has a really nice kind of like Italian Bolognese mouthfeel. Sprinkle with the fresh cilantro and our chopped peanuts. And there we have our amazing green curry mushroom bolognese. I'm ready to dig in. Let's give this a taste. I mean, this is an intentionally vegan dish, but the richness of this and the creaminess of it, it won't even have people guessing, is this vegan or not? It's just such a good dish, you don't even think about it. It's just perfect. Like the saltiness of it and just the creaminess of it and the peanutty and the curry and just the way all the flavors come together. And everything gets caught in the middle of the rigatoni, which is just such a big, hearty, obsessed. You need to try this. So definitely go to my website, monsonmadethis.com. You'll see this full recipe. Also, if you want to see me finish this bowl, why don't you go over to my Patreon, which I will have linked below, where my eating show is on there, Monson Ate This. You can see me eat this dish and talk a little bit more about my life and what's going on, and just a little bit more casual, free-form type of channel over there. So please check that out. Thank you all for watching this. I hope I inspired you to try this dish. If you do, please tag me on Instagram at monsonmadethis. If you have any other ideas for delicious, rich pasta dishes as well, please definitely comment below. So thank you all so much for watching. I will be back next week with another recipe video. Till then, I will see you on my Patreon, monsonmadethis, where I will be finishing this delicious pasta. Bye.
Ryan Little.